Your friend. Your friend is a creature that hunts urban areas. Resembling a vaguely human-like form, it lurks in places without a lot of lights, but with streets and houses, and waits and waits and waits until it sees someone walking towards it. Then it'll make a loud noise. To the intended victim, they'll hear the sound of one of their close friends. It'll make them think that they're about to have a coincidental encounter with a trusted friend. The low lighting and the large amount of shadows makes its shape hazy. As people trust the recognized voice, they don't move as it gets closer. Soon as it gets close enough, the people realize it's a monster. That what looked like messy clothes was just loose folds of skin. That it had no face, just a maw full of sharp teeth. The victim realizes that it's too late, and even though they try to run or get back into their car, the monster is much faster than estimated. It'll wound the person horrifically and wait for them to bleed out, mocking them in a voice that to the dying victim sounds like their best friend. It'll wait till they fully pass, and then it'll eat the victim. That person is marked missing or a runaway, and the people who knew them are never seen again. Rinse and repeat. It looks for lone walkers, people waiting for tows, or even just pet walkers. Basically, it looks for people alone and isolated and tricks them to get close enough to attack. Sometimes it fails. Sometimes the person is armed, or they have better reactions than expected. So the friend creature is shot or struck by a car, and its intended victim gets away without injury. What's really interesting about this creature is that it's confirmed that it used to be a human. Samples taken from the time survivors wounded it happened to bring up an old case. Nathaniel Way, Nate to his friends, age 23. Nate was the victim of a hit and run on a cold winter night. He was walking home from a party when suddenly he was struck and left heavily wounded. The accident left him as a paraplegic. Had the person stopped and gotten Nate to the hospital in time, he wouldn't have lost his limbs. But the person drove off after hitting him, causing Nate to be left bleeding and wounded until people found him the next day. By then, the injuries combined with hypothermia destroyed his limbs and left him almost blind as well. Nate's life took a drastic turn. While his insurance was able to help a little bit, Nate lost his dream job. His girlfriend of many years, someone he was thinking of marrying, couldn't deal with this new state. She couldn't accept that she would have to take care of him for his whole life, so she left him. While Nate was able to get a caretaker with his disability check given from his former job, put him on, Nate's life was pretty much over. He took it out on everyone around him, driving more people from his life with his anger and rage. They felt bad, but being around Nate was just painful now. Eventually, Nate was all alone. No one wanted to be near him. Not soon after that, Nate took his own life. It was rough on everyone, but soon people moved on. Nate's former girlfriend married Nate's best friend. His family grieved, but tried to be happy because that is what the old Nate, the one before the accident, would have wanted. Not soon after that, the creature appeared. It started at first hunting down random people. It had no set pattern, except doing careful investigation, knowing now that the monster is Nate, revealed that the people killed have been suspected of doing hit and runs themselves. It was playing avenging angel and taking care of all those who ruined people's lives. Then one day it went after a particular victim, one it failed to kill. After that, it completely changed its hunting targets. That person was Nate's best friend, and if it wasn't for the girlfriend hitting the creature with a car, Nate would have ripped him to pieces. Going back to the person in question and doing a private interview, the man admitted to our agents that he was the one who originally hit Nate that night. Nate, having been drunk and wandered randomly into the street, and him hitting Nate by accident. He didn't know it was Nate at the time and had freaked out at hitting someone, so he drove off and never said anything. As this agency isn't a police agency, just one that monitors and contains creatures, we didn't turn him into the police. We did advise him to get a transfer and move away with his girlfriend. As of this report, Nate has been captured and placed into a medical coma as we run more tests on how a human can turn into a creature.